Foo Fighters were really eager to be the first show back here.
Been nearly 20 years since Providence Park has hosted a concert. This Friday, that will change. Right now, the venue is gearing up to welcome the Foo Fighters. Katu's Shelby Slaughter joins us live from Providence Park now, where she got a tour earlier today. Shelby, lots of people excited about the lineup that will be there.
Yes, Steve. Well, from the Foo Fighters to Green Day and other artists that haven't been announced yet, people tell me they're excited for yet another reason to come to downtown.
It's been a long time coming, and Providence Park's big concert comeback is finally here.
Yeah, let's go. We need it. Yeah, we need it. The more the merrier.
You might remember one of the last concerts played at the venue was nearly 20 years ago. Def Leppard in 2005. Now, 30,000 people are expected to attend the sold-out Foo Fighters show.
Most often, tours were just bypassing Portland in the past.
Portland Timber CEO Heather Davis says bringing those new artists to Portland will lead to even more people visiting downtown.
This is now a venue that will allow tours to stop here in Portland on their way from California to Seattle.
Davis says they're expecting the sold-out crowd to start lining up early on Friday for general admission.
It's going to be a really epic night.
People who live and work in the area agree and say the crowds on Friday will bring lots of well-needed business to the area.
It'll definitely bring more money into the surrounding area.
Officials say if you're coming down, give yourself plenty of time because 30,000 other people will also be looking for a place to park. And to avoid that, Davis recommends using TriMet to get to and from the concert.
And if you're excited for Green Day, they'll be here next month. Reporting live in downtown Portland, I'm Shelby Slaughter, K2 News.
Although there's still some space in the infield and in the grandstands, Civic Stadium hasn't been this full for a long time. The crowd is enthusiastic, and there's no doubt who they came to see.
I came to see Tom Petty.
We grew up with Bob Dylan, so how can you miss this opportunity?
I come to see Tom Petty. Bob Dylan. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
This is Bob Dylan, and I'm prepared.
Petty.
Yeah, Petty. He's more rock to me.
I came here for Tom Petty and to watch Bob Dylan. I don't really know his music, but it's kind of a history. I don't know.
You could definitely see a generation gap at work tonight. A younger crowd that came to rock with Tom Petty versus their parents, most of whom were attracted by Bob Dylan. The audience did skew toward middle age, but those who had come for history or nostalgia didn't get it. Dylan has passed through many incarnations since the 1960s. Tonight's concert was a joint effort by the two artists and not separate performances, and Dylan showed no inclination to dwell upon the past. This was definitely an 80s Dylan cast in a contemporary rock mode. Even when the song was Dylan's, the sound was Petty's. The decibel level was ear-splitting, 106 at the center of the infield, much louder than it sounds on this tape. I suspect that many of the kids who weren't even born when Dylan was at his most influential came away with a new respect for the performer. The reaction of their elders, however, may have been a bit more mixed. At Civic Stadium, Stuart Rosenthal, Channel 2 News.
It's an evening of great expectations. From the fans, expectations of great music. From some of the neighbors, expectations of great noise. In an apartment across the street from Civic Stadium, Milani Vida says she will not be able to hear her TV, her telephone, or her doorbell.
That frightens you because you say to yourself, oh dear, if somebody needs me or if there is an emergency, I can't hear it.
But the city is trying to make it easier for the neighbors. They are why this concert starts at 6:30, so the place will clear out by 10. They are also the reason behind the shuttle bus to garages, so there won't be as much parking congestion. And they are why all the seats here are reserved, so the crowd won't be as large before the start time. These are the ideas of John Christensen, general manager of the city commission that runs Civic Stadium.
We've tried to take as many preventative measures as we could, and we've tried to give them ample notice well in advance of the event so that they could make other arrangements if they wanted to. Obviously, we'll try to be as good a neighbor as we possibly can, but it is difficult when you're running a stadium to be real quiet.
Quiet it was not. Readings done by the noise control officer showed that the concert was 10 to 20 decibels higher than the legal limit. But tonight, Bob Dylan and Tom Petty have special permission from the Portland City Council to take it to the limit and beyond. At Civic Stadium, Josephine Chang, Channel 2 News.
Last night, this was one of the best seats in the house for the Bob Dylan-Tom Petty concert. Today, another group is taking the stage. Away.
Put it down the side, lay it on the ground, lay it on the ground, lay it on the ground, now. Boom.
By this morning, Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, and the Heartbreakers are long gone. Local crews dismantled the framework for their stage and sound system, and the neighborhood around Civic Stadium returns to normal. The city noise control staff measured Dylan's decibel output outside the stadium last night and found it louder than normally allowed, up to 88 decibels in one apartment adjacent to the stadium. But the city council had granted a variance to the noise ordinance for this one show. This morning, the noise control officer reported no complaints from citizens. The manager of the nearby Portland Towers apartments voiced no serious problems with the volume. Some garbage left on the lawn was cleared up by noon. The steps in the stadium, however, will take longer. Cleanup crews herd the debris toward the aisles so others can shovel it away. One man called it the biggest mess he'd ever seen. No damage, just more volume than follows the average Beavers game.
Baseball people eat more peanuts, and these people didn't eat very many peanuts.
We had that West one man in there.
Is it easier to lay it down or pick it up?
Pick it up. It took almost a full day to put it down, put the tarps and stuff down.
If it is any consolation to opponents of rock concerts in the Civic Stadium, the Bob Dylan Show is the only one scheduled this year. At the stadium, Jim Hyde, Channel 2 News.
Hundreds lined up before dawn to buy tickets for next month's David Bowie concert in Civic Stadium. 8 tickets permitted apiece at $22.50 a ticket.
Yeah, they're all for me and my friends. That's me. Oh my God.
And these fans can expect more concerts to be booked into Portland if what began today up in Tacoma comes true. The sales and public relations directors for Portland's Exhibition and Recreation Commission met with their counterparts from Tacoma, home of the Tacoma Dome, from Seattle, and from Spokane.
The Northwest can tap on maybe another 10% of all the concerts that are going on around the United States every year.
Promoters and agents are more likely to book their tours in the Northwest if the 4 cities can coordinate their available show dates.
By working together and perhaps talking with the other building managers in this area, saying, well, if we flip-flop these dates, I could make it work here, and that would let you make it down there. And together we help the promoter and the agent book the tour.
Poor coordination caused Eric Clapton and Robert Cray to cancel the Northwest leg of their tour this spring.
Well, he had an open date here and probably ran into some scheduling problems in Seattle.
Even though the Sonics and the Blazers were in the middle of playoffs, only Portland would guarantee a show date for the Coliseum. Seattle wouldn't. So the Clapton tour simply canceled out because of the Sonic. The city of Portland wants more concerts because the city makes money off of them and expected $45,000 from the upcoming Bowie show, and area businesses reap an estimated $5 to $6 million positive annual economic impact, all from rock and roll in Portland. Brooks Burford, Channel 2 News.
Okay, gentlemen, on 3, we're going to give a big pull. Downstage. 1, 2, 3.
A conga line of roadies snakes its way over a 3,000-square-foot stage. They're building a spider, weighing in at 38,000 pounds. David Bowie's always been known for some wild stage presentations, and he said this one is more theatrical than any other. Looking like spiders on a web of scaffolding, workers unloaded this 360-ton stage from a total of 23 trucks. It's one of 5 stages that leapfrog each other as the tour travels from city to city across the world. Rolling? All right, you want the glasses or no glasses?
Yeah, I need the glasses. My mom thinks I'm doing Disney on Ice. She really doesn't like me doing these pop shows.
RT's been with the Glass Spider Tour since it started in Europe last May, and he's responsible for putting the stage and spider together.
We started at 8 a.m. this morning with all our production gear, which is the physical spider and the rest of the body, which all it is the lights and the sound and all the set coming in and starting to interface together.
Even compared to the theater, where RT usually works, he says this double-time dance produces a great show.
This is a well-done, powerful show. It's dynamic. Everyone should come see it.
Did you open your coat, sir? Thank you.
With security bolstered by over 150 people, Bowie's Portland concert opened to more than 25,000 people at Civic Stadium. Inside, fans waited anxiously for an event that had taken 4 days of preparations inside the stadium.
I love David Bowie and I've followed him for so long, so I figured what the heck, let's go. I love all his old albums and he finally came here.
Just before the concert started, a limousine lost its brakes on the hill south of Civic Stadium, slamming into the Multnomah Athletic Club. 2 people were injured. The group Duran opened the concert just before 6:30 to a half-full stadium. Most of the concertgoers were waiting for Bowie's appearance. Others had been caught in traffic outside. While thousands of people enjoyed the quality of sound inside Civic Stadium, the concern outside the stadium tonight was the quantity of sound. The view from the top of the Portland Towers across from Civic Stadium was a lot higher, and those gathered here said their view of the concert was different for other reasons as well.
When we have our radios and our television, if we don't like something, we just got turned off or onto a different station. This thing can't get away from it.
We want the city and the people that come to the concerts and enjoy the concerts, we want them to understand that we are not opposed to the concerts, we're opposed to the impact, and we'll be able to work that out.
David Bowie's appearance had been delayed until 9 o'clock for darkness to highlight the show's special effects. Chances are the controversy over loud events at Civic Stadium will continue long after Bowie's concert tour takes him to his next stop in Canada. At Civic Stadium, Bob High, Channel 2 News.
New at 11, a blast from the past entertains crowds at PG Park tonight. British band Def Leppard rocked the stadium with some of its old hits from the 80s. You may remember some of the big ones like Love Bites and Pour Some Sugar on Me. Fans enjoyed a little bit of nostalgia tonight, that's for sure.
I'm a fan from the 80s, the hair bands. I love Def Leppard, and I've been listening to them ever since I was in high school. Woo!
I grew up with them from their first album all the way to date. It's a great band.
It's my era. It was high school. And, you know, they continue through the years. That's nice to see.
Tonight's performance was the first of a nationwide tour, which also includes Bryan Adams. You know, one of our producers earlier, Jessica, was singing that Pour Some Sugar on Me in the newsroom. I can't get that thing out of my head now.
Well, how does
that tune?
I can't think of it.
Oh, you sure can.
But it sure is a catchy title, isn't it?
It is. It really is. And you're a Def Leppard fan, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. Okay, don't turn off the channel. We are moving on. We're getting in the weather right now.